Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. Sequel to the meeting that took place in Asaba, Delta State by the southern governors of the 17 southern states. A lot of reactions have been pouring in, and some of them points to the fact that the resolutions that they have brought up, it's kind of clearly show the level of betrayal in this government. A lot of other things have been said, mostly from northern politicians and northern lawmakers. But one of those who was in attendance in that meeting has finally reacted to some of the statement that has been issued out against them. And you'll be so shocked what he has to say, especially in respect to the agitations that are going on in the country from, Nigerians. Don't forget that these guys were elected into office to represent the interests of the people, even at the executive level. But most of them have failed. And this time around, this guy had to come up to blast all of them and say, hey, for any reason, you guys don't have to talk to us. But then we'd like to look at the full content and what the reactions of Nigerians have been. All right, but before we do all of that, if you're not subscribed to our channel, kindly hit the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. All right, let's look at the news in detail. The governor of Delta State, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, on Saturday averred that elected officers who shy away from giving support to the voices of their people are not worthy of such positions. This is just as he restated the resolution of the 17 southern governors, saying they had no choice but to re-echo the age-long cries of those who elected them to office. Okowa, while addressing a crowd of leaders of the People Democratic Party in the state at the cenotaph in Asaba, further underlined restructuring as a way out of the woods for the country. While appreciating God and his colleague for making the meeting possible in Asaba, the governor slammed critics of the joint resolution, saying the conversation must continue with tacit support of elected officers at all levels. According to him, he said, yes, I have heard a lot about the Southern Governors meeting. We thank God for that meeting. We thank God for bringing us together. The things that we said aren't new. We are only re-echoing what our people have been agitating for. But unfortunately, I read that some people say we ought not to talk about certain things as elected people. If the voice of your people is out always, and as an elected person, you shy away from giving further voices to their voices, then you ought not to be in the position you occupy. So I thank our people in the House of Rep who have responded to the speech made by their colleagues. The governor further reiterated that there was no reason for any region or individual to be afraid of the governor's stand as a non-issue relating to dismembering the country was discussed at the forum. As I did say, there's none of the things we have discussed that is against the unity of Nigeria. We believe in the unity of our country as elected leaders, but we also went ahead to advance for some things that must be done to give strength to the unity. We talked about restructuring, which has been on the table for too long. Both the voices of PDP and APC have been on restructuring. And restructuring is all-inclusive and all-encompassing. We all have different views on it, but when we all sit at a round table, we'll agree on what's best for us. The conversation have started and our people are talking, and when we do not give backing to their voice, then we are giving room for further crisis. Other leaders should thank the southern governors for giving further voices to the conversation, which can bring about a country with fairness, equity, and trust among the people. Wow. That was a good one coming from the governor of Delta State, because that meeting has triggered a lot of reactions. You understand? And some persons are like, man, it's a way of betrayal. Some say, well, we are all in this. Every failure that this government have encountered, it's all on all of us because none of us have performed superbly and all of that. And some have also reiterated that some of the statements made during during that meeting has already been fixed by President Muhammadu Buhari. For example, the issue of restructuring, according to the governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, he said restructuring, that the presidency have restructured this, has restructured that, he has given financial autonomy and all of that. That most of the thing discussed was quite uncalled for and all of that. But hey, this guy have to open up on what he feels is right. And I buy into virtually everything he has said. For me, those were words of wisdom, because for the first thing that you have to understand and accept is that you are an employee of the people. As far as you are elected by the people, automatically you are their employee. They send you in there because they trusted you that you can, be their voices, where their voices cannot be heard. You can speak for them where they cannot speak. So if they keep on chanting against a particular thing and keep demanding government interference in a particular area and all of that, and you do little or nothing about it, automatically you are not worthy of that office you're occupying, which is absolutely true. And guess what? That is what Nigerians have been crying for. For example, this issue of insecurity that have been facing Nigeria thus far, the long silence is what has made the country turn out to be this. The non-understanding on the part of elected officers that they are in charge, their responsibility is to protect life and property, is what triggered the problem to the point where it is currently. If everybody, ranging from the federal down to the state and local government, they were awake when the people were crying especially from the local government area and from different communities, from different settlements, whether it is farm settlement or not. If the governors and also the president had responded speedily, what we are today hearing both on public forums and international, and nobody would have been talking about it. Look at what is going on in other countries. The only time you see issues like this come up and is head outside is actually when it has to do with, external aggressors coming in, like what is going on between Israel and the Palestinians. That's the only time you hear this kind of thing coming up. But unfortunately, nobody cared about, the demands of the people. I think what the South and Southwest governors have done is quite commendable for them to, react this way. But I still would say that please let it not be for your personal selfish gain. You are saying all these things because as much as we know, Nigerians are so happy that you have made the decision, and some of you say that decision is irrevocable. For example, like Wiki has spoken also about it, that it is actually irrevocable. They cannot turn back the hands of time again. But then, let it not be for your selfish interest. Let it be for the interest of Nigerians, that at the end of the day, we will celebrate you guys for standing on tall for your people and for everything that you had discussed.